Ooh, hello. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to LUCIA, to our Empowered Parents Group. This is our beautiful private group, LUCIA. We've got close to 2,000 members, all
Wow.
amazing parents supporting each other. We run lots of events in this group. We have lots of members joining us every day. Last week alone, we had over 50 members join us. So we're just loving the momentum. Parents from all over the world come in. So today is Tuesday in Melbourne. I'm sure lots of parts of the world it's not yet Tuesday.
Tuesday here too.
Yes, that's right. We've begun an expert series, and you are our expert today, Lucia. So I've known Lucia for possibly 2 years now, maybe 2 years, and we've connected. She's got a beautiful energy. I love what she does. I love her glasses. Let's hope she puts them on for us a little bit later. And Lucia is the expert in following our own style. She talks about how the importance of confidence, the importance of of being aligned to your style, being aligned to your own emotions. And it is a journey. It is a journey. It's not something that we need to figure out overnight, like a lot of in-depth stuff. It is a journey, and having patience and acquiring knowledge and information be on the journey. So the reason why I chose you to speak in our group, and the reason why I love your topic, is because that part has been a big part of my journey on being a mom and doing this work today. I didn't even know, because you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
And for a long time, I didn't know I was in the dark, but I was living a very disempowered life. I know that sounds very cliche, but I was living a life where I was not aligned to my truth. And how do you know that? Is when you feel tired, when you question yourself, when there's a lot of inner language, that self-judgment that goes on, when you find your external world challenging you, is when you are not living your truth.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So to all of the moms out there, parents, I know I keep saying moms, but we've got lots of amazing, beautiful dads in this group too. So honor to all of the dads as well.
Yeah.
And it's the same, not just women, or it's not just for women.
People in general.
Everyone. If you're finding yourself judging yourself, burning out, because burnout, I believe, comes from the exhaustion that we feel in our bodies, comes from what's going on in our inner state. So that's been a journey for me. I not too long ago, or we can say 4 years ago, I used to be 20 kgs more. I used to be exhausted, burnt out. I used to be very stressed, and I had chaos in my world. My marriage used to take me down the spirals of depression.
Yeah.
And all of it is a reflection. It's all of that comes together. How you feel about yourself, how you see yourself in the mirror, the thoughts you have within yourself, and your external world that is reflecting back to you, which is what I call chaos, which is what empowered parenting is about, taking parents from that journey from that stage of chaos to that state of calm. And there's that awareness that happens. So right now, what we're doing is creating an awareness. We are sharing, and through you, Lucia, we're sharing what's possible. And we would love to hear your story, and we'd love to hear some tips on what you can share with the parents in our group. So all of you joining us this morning, we would love for you to comment. Tell us what is your way. How confident do you feel within yourself? How much of challenge do you do you perceive in your life right now? Put it in the chat box. Say challenge if you feel challenged. Say chaos if you're feeling a bit of chaos, because we are here and we are here to support you. And put in the comment section. We are watching and taking notes of your comments as you put them through. And Lucia and I would love to answer your questions too. So thank you so much for joining us, Lucia, and we can't wait to hear your expertise on what it is to feel. What is that journey? What was your journey from where you were at to coming to that feeling comfortable and confident in yourself?
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you, Yolanda. I love the story you tell about the chaos, because very much as a young mother, I was thrown into motherhood at 22, which is quite young. And I believe that my learning or my teaching began then. I started to learn at 22 about my personal journey. Now, my daughter has a disability and she's now 40, but in the early days, that was such a struggle, such a challenge. And I had some big monsters that I had to deal with at 22. And one of them was fostering my marriage, my relationship with my husband. Like at 22, we were still quite young, and we thought that we had the world in front of us, and then we were told that we had this child that was broken, basically. And I believe many of the practitioners have their own way of dealing with assisting parents to go through this process of parenting. And we think we're doing it wrong, unfortunately. We look at others that are maybe doing a better job, all of that comparison that we have a tendency to do. We look at other people and they've got it all together, But when you really, really look, Yolanda, we're all, we're all doing the same thing. We're all doing or trying what's best for our children, what we believe is best for our children. So for me, I had to get a coach. I had to get a mentor. And when my daughter was quite young, I had to deal with lots of, I guess they were occupational therapists, physiotherapists, doctors, professors. And in that process, I became very, very strong, very, very sure of the fact that my child, I knew that I always wanted the very best for my child, but I had to learn how to use my voice in that same manner. So understanding my confidence back then wasn't great, right? So I always tended to shrink. Someone had come in and say, well, you've got to do it this way. And I'd go, yeah, and walk away. And I always felt like lesser than, if that's a word, right? Lesser than. I always felt unworthy.
Not good enough.
Not good enough.
Yeah.
The whole story, and I'd relay this because I come from a family. My father was a migrant, so I've got broken language, and as a non-English, like that transition between that is difficult. So I had that as well, and for me that was a really, really big struggle in my early days. But what I found when I was really, really my true self, when I stood, just in my presence, in me as the mother of my child, I knew what was good and what was not not as good. So I guess what I'm alluding to is there's going to be lots of challenges, but I've found over the years that reaching out, asking for support, asking for help has been my biggest tool to support my daughter. And as you know now, I actually help women with exactly that. I help them to dig right down to what's going on. You know, is it that perfectionist? Is it that procrastinator? Is it the person that doesn't feel worthy? And see what the story is from where that's come. Limiting beliefs around money, you know, like we don't have enough. We have all the love in the world for our children, and sharing that. We don't have to give them things. Giving them your time is one of the best things that you can do for your children. I've always found road trips or you know, little holidays out the bush. I was raised in the bush, so I love the bush, and I find that getting them out of that busyness children get into, they get caught up in a wheel of chaos, and they're very, very much. And I remember hearing this: monkey see, monkey do. And it's a little bit like if you look in the mirror at yourself and how you're reacting, your child will react the same way, exactly the same way. So try, really, really try.
We call that modeling. We're always modeling behavior, and we are modeling parenting styles from what was modeled to us by our parents as well.
Absolutely. And you know, I've got some of these beliefs from my parents, and working really hard with that, I've had to, I guess, you know, in the field of style, helping women understand that when they look into a wardrobe each day and it's not reflecting who they are or how they feel about themselves, then they're going to start their day on that less than elevated, say, let's put it that way. So, you know, if you're going to take the children to school, if you need to drive the children to school, you get your tracksuit pants out. You don't go in your pajamas, right? You get your tracksuit out and you get dressed. You dress up.
I go in my pajamas, Luch.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, when I'm dropping my kids to school, I'm in my pajamas.
I
go and get a coffee as well in my pajamas.
Have you got Peter Alexander pajamas? I've got my mine aren't even matchy. Mine are I think I've got polar fleece, you know, those fluffy polar fleece ones. So but you know, just making the effort to tell yourself that you love who you are, that what you're putting on you is a reflection of how you feel about yourself is really, really important.
Yeah.
We do
I guess for me, I'm just very comfortable. I'm not looking for perfectionism anyway, Closer. I'm very comfortable in myself. Accept me as I am or not.
Yeah. It's more, Yolanda, about the love that you have for yourself. So if you wear your pajamas to the coffee shop, you're sending that signal, or that you're reflecting out that you're very confident. You people can look and have an opinion, but you feel aligned to who you are. So that's, I guess, what I'm saying is how you feel inside is going to reflect in what you wear, no matter what. So, you know,
I completely agree. Yep.
You could go in your pajamas, you could go in your tracky dacks, you could do, you know, wear whatever. When you feel confident, the outside boundaries don't worry you. They absolutely, you're not comparing, you're not judging, you're not doing anything. You're simply being the beautiful person you were put in this world. And we've been conditioned as mothers, as women, to have less of a voice. And I believe that that we need to empower each other to shine, you know, and just take each other at I guess the level that they're coming from, you know, that person is coming from. Is that making sense?
It does make sense, Lucia. It makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much for that. What I really love to hear is you talk about emotions
Yes.
and the feelings and how that comes through in our style and what is that style? How do
Right.
we find our style? If you can leave us with a few tips on that, that would be perfect.
Yes, absolutely. So emotions, and I talk about emotions and clutter, and emotions and clutter are very, very strongly linked. So if we are in this state of chaos, perhaps we need to streamline our wardrobes, our cupboards, you know, our home. You know, we need to start streamlining so that we're not caught in this turmoil. Even our offices. I know my office, when it starts to get a little bit chaotic, I have to stop and I have to clear the clutter. And the same with our minds. Like if we're looking at a wardrobe that's got no organisation in it, then we're getting very, very chaotic, cluttered, right? So it affects us in the fact that we have low self-esteem. Our confidence levels are really, really lowered. So to elevate that, we need to have a process or a system in our wardrobes. And I like to give my clients a 70-30 system. It's 70% of your wardrobe is your classic styles. So your everyday, you know, black pants, black tops, black skirt, black dress. I'm saying black because you're in Melbourne, but and then your tops. So you have your bottoms, your tops, and your dresses. And what that gives you is gives you a designated plan of what you can choose. So you color code it. So
What's
you
the
go.
relationship between black and Melbourne? I don't get that.
A lot of people corporate in Melbourne wear black. A lot of like it's black is a base accessory for everyone, no matter whether it's Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane. Black is a basic essential.
I think
And
since I left the corporate world, my basic is now jeans. I've got the jean skirts. I've got a couple of pairs of jeans trousers. I've got the jeans jacket. I think, yeah, it just made me think that's interesting. I do
yeah,
remember when I was corporate, I did have a lot of black. Now I
black.
don't have that at all.
So it's reflected, and it's almost like a sixth sense. I can't say that sixth sense in us. You know that we reflect. And look, I've got navy pants and a floral top on today. I'm in the city now. I come from, you know, up on the Sunshine Coast. If I was at home, I'd probably have I don't know, blue or something different. You know, I'd have something a bit lighter because the element of structure around us is quite structured. You know, there's a lot of concrete, there's a lot of structure. So it's reflected in that. And when you dress, so that 70-30 is 70% of it is your tops, your bottoms, and your dresses. And it's those pieces that are, you know, your black, your navy, and your jeans, you know, those types of things. And then you have your 30%. The 30% is fashion items. So at the moment, what have we got on fashion? I think we've probably got a little bit of leopard that, you know, we've brought in for winter. So we purchased that in a 30% ratio because they're the types of things that we can very easily get rid of for the next season. We haven't invested a lot of money in it, but we've discarded it after one or two.
You can shuffle it around with whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever
So
is new.
you incorporate
Lovely.
in with that essential wardrobe. But the structure in your wardrobe is really, really important so that you use all of your wardrobe. And the reason I say that is because of abundance. When you use and move everything in your wardrobe, you will find that you will become quite abundant in your lifestyle. It's a reflection of motion in, motion out. So elevating you and not being stagnant. Now, a lot of wardrobes I see, the far end of the wardrobe never gets touched. There's either mold or it's interesting, you know, just how stagnant that energy in the wardrobe is. And
you're making me want to go and declutter and shuffle things around, Lucia. Just listening to you.
Yeah,
thank you for that. Yeah. And I can see that is energy, that is dense energy.
Yeah.
I've done that in the past and I've seen how my life has transformed doing that. So that's a wonderful tip. Great. Any other last tip that you have for us this morning before we close up? Yeah.
I think for children and clothing, allow them to be creative. If they come out and they've got a summer pair of shorts on and a jumper or you know, I don't know, a stripes with a checks or you know, flowers, let them wear it. Allow them to be, because they're using their creativity. They are literally being their own person. We've had too many of those layers of, you can't put that on, you can't wear that for winter, you can't. We need to allow that creativity and allow them.
You have those kids who want to go in a sleeveless shirt in the middle of winter down the street. So,
and let them do it. Let them do it. You know, my sister used to wear swimming tops in winter, and we used to say to her, "Don't you feel cold?" "Oh no, I'm fine." And we're like, "Rightio, off you go." But I'm really talking about, you know, the creative side of children when they dress. They put
I like
some
that. Yeah.
great pieces together, and it's encouraging them to use that other side of their brain. And what happens is they become more creative in life, in their relationships,
because we've allowed them to be expressive,
expressing exactly who they are. They're not covering it. They're not being manipulated.
That's an interesting point to make. Even in choosing wardrobe, we can give permission, or we can be shutting down our kids, even in those little ways. Yeah, absolutely. Love it.
Yeah, we send subliminal messages. If you look at you know, young babies will have the Gucci bib, or you know, the branded C Calvin Klein, or you know, something like that. They're actually almost starting to be educated around branding for you know, company branding. It's all subliminal.
I didn't even know that was there. There was a Gucci and a bib and a.
Oh, there is. Yeah, there is. Yeah,
okay. No, my kids weren't that lucky.
No, mine weren't either. But there is a you know, like there is this population that does do
very
this.
much into brands.
Yeah, and it's reflected into our children. So if you can afford brands, so go ahead, you know, do it. But I just think allowing your children to, you know, once they're at that age, to be creative with their dressing is vital and important.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your insights. Do you have a last tip for our audience today to encourage them to follow their style, Lucia?
Okay, probably I'd love to offer any of your clients a 30-minute chat.
Wow.
Just, you know, just brilliant. Just to have a conversation. Maybe they've got you know, a wardrobe that they need a little bit of support with. I can do things virtually. I've become a virtual stylist now.
Yes, that's right.
And I can help them with their body, you know, like helping them with their emotions and working through. I do a lot of chakra meditation, Yolanda. So helping people get more grounded and working through some of those energy blocks that might be there. So I also have a 15-minute chakra meditation.
Wonderful.
But
That's
I'd love to.
beautiful to offer. Thank you, Lucia. Can
Yeah,
you put it in the comment section
yeah,
of the live? If you can put that in the special offers you have for our members,
I
that
will.
will be wonderful.
All
And
right.
just for all of you listening in, I do have my masterclass coming up on Friday, which is supporting single parents in overcoming challenges that a lot of single parents
Yeah.
face.
Yep.
So I invite all of you there. We will put the link to our masterclass because it's coming up on Friday, and
Yay.
we are so excited to have all of you join us. So thank you to all of you who've been commenting and chatting with us on this live. Deb says that my son loves the t-shirt in the middle of winter.
Yes.
And he loves 2 different socks and t-shirt, and his t-shirt back to front. How about that?
There you go. He likes the higher neck, obviously.
There you go.
Keeps his neck warm.
Lovely. All righty. Thank you so much, Lucia. Such a pleasure to have you with us. If I do come down to Sunshine Coast, I do look forward to having a coffee with you.
Yeah.
And thank you. Have the most amazing day, and thank you for your expertise that you share in our group. To all of you members listening in, Tuesdays is our Expert Tuesday. If you are an expert in your field, send me a PM and let's see how we can fit you in on a Tuesday morning. Thank you so much, and I'll let you go to your beautiful day. Lucia, enjoy your half-day workshop. See you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone.